Do you swear? Lots of kids do today, you know. I guess they think it makes them smart or grown up. Do you think that you should swear? Well, we're going to dig into swearing on Lifetime, coming right up. It's Lifetime. It's Lifetime. The right time is Lifetime. Rays of light can enter anywhere, spreading happiness we all can share. Heaven's glow of light right at the start can grow to fill your heart. It's Lifetime, Lifetime, the right time is Lifetime. I thought the best way to learn a little about swearing would be to skip around to various parts of the country and find out what different people think about it. Let's go to a small town first. Now, that's Dick Leslie in the batter's box. He's sort of an all-American boy. Fine athlete. Everybody likes him. The grown-ups all think he's a model boy. Of course, there's one thing they don't know about him.
That'll show you your cotton.
Hey, Dick.
You.
Dick Leslie, come over here for a minute, will you?
Yes, sir?
Dick, I'm going to lay it right on the line. I hear you swear like a pirate's parrot.
Who, me?
Well, now, let's not beat around the bush, Dick. You do swear, don't you?
You're not going to tell my folks, are you?
Nope, I just want to talk to you.
Why?
I'd like to hear why you do it, in your own words.
Well, most kids just haven't enough nerve to swear.
You really think so?
Sure. They kind of look up to me because I have.
Are you sure they look up?
Sure, I'm sure. All the kids like me, don't they?
Well, as far as I can see, but are you certain that swearing has anything to do with it?
You ought to hear 'em laugh.
A comfortable laugh?
What?
Well, when they laugh, do they laugh comfortably? You know, like when they hear a clean joke, head thrown back, really enjoying it.
Who pays any attention to how people laugh?
Maybe you should. You know, a lot of people laugh nervously. They feel uncomfortable. And if they're uncomfortable, maybe you're not coming off as good as you think you are.
Look, mister, I don't know who you are, but you must be about the squarest guy around. You know, L7 square. I'm not going around afraid to open my mouth. I don't like to be afraid of anything.
But you are, aren't you?
Of what?
You're afraid to use your street language at home, aren't you? Well, that's one point of view, isn't it? In most ways, Dick's a nice guy, and I'm sure he got a little irritated because, well, maybe because he had a tough case to defend, huh? Now let's go to a big city. Just a minute, please. You Joe Giovanni?
Yeah. What's it to you?
Oh, may I talk to you for a minute?
Sure dime. Start talking.
Do you ever swear, Joe?
Are you nuts or something? Look, will you get out of the way? I'm in a big hurry.
Well, I know it sounds silly, Joe, but it's kind of important.
That I swear, that's punk stuff, mister.
Lots of kids around here do.
Yeah. There's a lot of punks in this neighborhood, too.
You mean that you don't?
Look,
Jim Stewart's my name.
Look, Stewart, I can get everything said that I want to get said without swearing. I got enough trouble trying to stay straight with God as it is.
Well, you think it's wrong to swear?
It's one of the 10 Commandments. It's right up on top, the second one. Now, do you get out of the way, or do I have to...
Okay, wait a minute, though. How do you feel about vulgar language? I mean, if God's name isn't used.
You mean talking dirty?
Yes, with no mention of God.
I don't do that either. Now, out of the way, huh?
Joe, why don't you?
For a guy as old as you are, you sure don't know very much, do you? Lots of people don't like dirty talk. It makes them sick. It's like somebody slurping their soup at a dinner table. You wouldn't do that, would you? Well, I don't use dirty language. It's not polite.
There's a young man with a positive opinion. Made a lot of sense, too. We can say everything we need to say without swearing. Vulgar language is bad manners. And thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain is the second commandment. There are times, though, when it is proper to swear, but it's a very different kind of swearing, and it's used only on very important and solemn occasions, like these.
Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Raise your right hand, please, and repeat after me. I hereby declare on oath
I hereby declare on oath
that I absolutely and entirely renounce and abjure
I absolutely and entirely renounce and abjure
all allegiance and fidelity to any foreign prince,
all allegiance and fidelity to any foreign prince,
potentate, state, or sovereignty,
potentate, state, or sovereignty,
of whom I have heretofore been,
whom I have heretofore been. I may think as I please. I may speak or write as I please, so long as do not interfere with the rights of others. I have the right to vote. I have the right to choose my work, to seek any job for which my experience and ability has fitted me. I have the right to improve my lot through various means. I have the right to a prompt trial by jury if I should be accused of a crime. I may seek justice in courts where I have equal rights with others. I have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
and that I take this obligation freely,
And that I take this obligation freely,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
So help me God.
So help me God.
You, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, do solemnly swear
I, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, do solemnly swear
that you will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States
that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States
and will, to the best of your ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Kind of impressive, wasn't it? At times, we swear before God to let people know we mean what we say. So you see, there are times when it's proper to use God's name. But as I said before, those are very important and solemn occasions. Now, what we're talking about here mostly today is using God's name, Jesus Christ's name, improperly, what people usually call swearing. Now let's try to find out what a grown-up thinks about swearing.
Thinks about it? I've been doing a lot of thinking about it lately, Jim.
And?
Well, I want to stop.
Why don't you?
It's not that easy. When you start as a kid, it gets to be a habit.
Well, do you think it's wrong to swear?
Well, now, what do you think? At best, it's only a lazy habit. A guy who's been around as much as I have should be able to use the proper words when he's got something to say. Only that's not the worst of it.
I know.
The worst part of it is, I must be offending God. And you know, the crazy part of it is, I usually don't even mean what I say.
I think God understands that.
Yes, but it's more than that, Jim. I don't fool around with my wife's name. I don't fool around with my son's name. I never forget to show proper respect to the people I love. So how can I kid myself that I love God the way I should when I use his name the way I do? I don't suppose I'm kidding him either.
I don't suppose you are.
So you see, Jim, I've just got to stop.
Oh, what do you plan to do?
I don't know. I don't know, Jim. What can I do?
Well, you seem to be having trouble stopping all by yourself. Have you ever thought of asking for a little help?
Help?
Well, I heard the best way to stop a bad habit is to replace it with a good one.
Well, now, how's that, Jim?
Well, I'd try a quick prayer each time I caught myself swearing.
You mean tell God I'm sorry every time I use his name carelessly?
Uh-huh. And Also, ask him to help you realize what you're saying.
You know, Jim, that might work.
Well, I'm sure it'll help, even if it's not an overnight cure-all. I guess there's a lesson there for all of us. If swearing is a habit, it could be hard to get rid of, and it could give us a lot of trouble for a good many years. You know, I'd like to ask Joe Giovanni a few more questions. Let's see if we can catch up with him. Joe, just a minute, please. Joe?
Oh, good. I'm glad you came back, mister. I'm sorry about the way I talked to you before.
Well, that's okay, Joe.
No, it's not okay. You see, I got bugged because you caught me in a hurry and blocked my way. I'm sorry I lost my temper.
Well, you had good reason, Joe. I did cut in without much warning. Say, the reason I came back is you seem to have given more thought to swearing than most of the other kids.
Maybe I'm around more of it.
Well, whatever the reason is, Joe, I'd like to talk to you a little more.
It's your dime.
Joe, some people think swearing's a good way to let off a little steam once in a while.
Like when?
Oh, I don't know. Well, what do you say when you hit your hand with a hammer?
Ouch. What do you say?
Oh, come on now. I say ouch, too. But seriously.
I am serious. Swearing doesn't help me at all. In fact, well, back when I was a kid, I used to swear once in a while. You know, but I always had this kind of uneasy feeling inside.
Mostly everybody does, Joe. That's that little nudge from our conscience.
Whatever it is, I don't like it.
Well, why do you think that kids swear, then?
I don't know. Around here, I guess it's because they think it makes them tough. They think that all the guys will call them chicken if they don't.
Aren't they?
Not according to my old man. He says that a lot of people get gentleness mixed up with weakness.
What do you think he means by that?
Well, take him, for instance. He's about as quiet a guy as you'll ever run into. But, mister, believe me, he's nobody to monkey around with.
He's tough, huh?
Tough? He went all the way to the finals in the gloves in 1943. Heavyweight.
Oh, I'll bet he can handle himself. Well, why do you think he's so gentle, then?
'Cause he doesn't have to bluff anybody. He looks at it this way. Jesus was a very gentle man.
Yes, he was.
But nobody ever called him weak, did they?
Nobody.
Well, you want to know something, Mr. Stewart? He didn't swear at all. You can start those skyrockets any time now.
Rays of light can enter anywhere, spreading happiness we all can share. Heaven's glow of light right at the start can grow to fill your heart. It's light time, the right time is light time.
In the hands of a skillful weaver, these threads can be woven into a beautiful tapestry with a delightful design. This design tells a story, with each thread doing its part. But I want to tell you of an even more thrilling design, in which you are a part. This is a Bible. The Bible is made up of 66 different books. The content of these books has been woven into a beautiful design by the infinite mind of God. This design is a design for living. It tells of God's wonderful love for you and for me. It shows us His plan for your life and for mine. Attend church this week and see how you fit into this design and how it was meant for you.